You're about to start a new sewing project. It calls for elastic, so you go to the store, you go to the sewing store, you're in the sewing notions aisle with a wall of all different types of elastic, different colors, different sizes, different types, and you're wondering, what kind of elastic do I get? I'm Jan Howell from YouMakeItSimple.com, and today I'm going to show you how to pick the right kind of elastic for your sewing project, because there are some significant differences and things you'll want to know so you're getting the best kind of elastic for your project. I'm going to go over the basic types of elastic, what they look like, the characteristics of each one, what to use for what projects, what not to use, and I'm going to give you some examples of sewing projects and things that you make with different types of elastic. So without any further ado, let's get right into it. So as you can see, there are all different types of elastic, all different sizes, colors. So there are three basic types of elastic: braided, knit, and woven elastics. Let's go over braided elastic first. What braided elastic looks like is it will have thin parallel lines, and when you pull the elastic, see how it narrows and gets smaller in width. All of these, when I pull them, narrow, even this small piece. If you were to sew into this type of elastic, which you really don't want to do because it lessens the stretch, it hinders the stretch and makes it less durable. This type of elastic is good for sewing and putting in casings like this waistband. So I didn't actually sew into this waistband. I made a casing and slid it through, and so it's free flowing, and when I stretch it, it stays stretchy, and I haven't sewn into it. Another good place to use this type of elastic is in sleeve hems. See that, how it's just in, I've made a casing and that's in the sleeve. And this will come in all different sizes and colors. Let's go over knit elastic. Knit elastic has a cross grain to it. When I pull it, it doesn't narrow. So you can sew into this elastic without losing the stretch of it. An example of what you would use this for would be waistbands, pajama bottoms, things like that. So on this particular waistband, they have sewn to the wrong side of the elastic. They've sewn along the edge with a serger onto the piece of fabric and then flipped it and then top stitched it. If I were to top stitch on the braided elastic, it would lose its stretch. It wouldn't be effective, and so this makes it a great waistband. It's for lightweight to medium fabrics. This is another example of a waistband on this skirt with knit elastic. And a thicker piece of knit elastic you'll find on waistbands of men's briefs. See how they've sewn into that, and it's still stretchy. This is another example of a knit elastic that you could sew into for a waistband. This elastic is soft to the touch. That means that you could put this on a garment, a waistband, and not have it be itchy or scratchy on the skin. Elastic is kind of fun. You can find it in different prints, different colors. I will put a link in the description below to this tutorial where I've made a watch band. You might want to check that out. The next elastic is woven elastic. Woven elastic looks like this. It has a parallel and a horizontal lines to it, and when I pull it, it doesn't narrow, and it's for more durable projects like homeware, pants, a waistband that you would be sewing into, and it doesn't lose the stretch when you do that, like a pair of jeans if you were to put a casing or use this in heavier weight fabric. This is also called no-roll elastic. Now there are some specialty elastics that we'll go over, and the first one is this lingerie elastic. It is a knit elastic. When I pull it, it doesn't narrow. It's something that you can sew into, like on a pair of underwear, bras, and lingerie, of course. And that's what it looks like. And it will come in different sizes, but most likely you'll find it in a more narrow. And it's for lightweight fabrics. A fun elastic to use is Foldover Elastic. They've made it so that there's a natural fold in it. This is good to finish off fabric edges. It's good for sports wear. A lot of people use these for headbands and hair ties. I have used it because it's really soft to the touch, and you can also find it in a more narrow width, and use it in outerwear. This is a windbreaker that has that Foldover elastic on the armband. I've also used this elastic for a watch band. There's also clear elastic that is good for stabilizing shoulder seams and neck bands. There is a special swim elastic, and it is made of rubber. It's resistant to heat, it's resistant to chlorine, and if you are making swimsuits and things that will be exposed to those elements, it's worth the extra money to buy that swim elastic. So I hope that was helpful when your project calls for elastic. I do have a printable PDF that you can print out. I'll put the link in the description below, that you can put in your sewing room in case you forget what elastic looks like, how to use it, and you can just refer to that PDF if you want to. If you're new to sewing and want other basic sewing tips and tricks, be sure to check out my Sew Simple series course. I'll put the link in the description below. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, make sure you do that. Click on the bell so you can be notified when I put new things up. And if you're wanting some fun patterns, easy, doable patterns to sew, be sure to check out my website, youmakeitsimple.com, where I have these patterns available. Have a wonderful day, have fun sewing, and we'll see you next time.